You are daddy.
Okay, so you're daddy.
I'm daddy.
And guess what? Honey, I'm home. Does that work? Does that work? There are certain corporations in the video game industry that feel as though that it's their job to allow what you say in the privacy of your own home or how to express your feelings on social media. In this video, we're going to talk about how to fight back. This channel, this movement, always boils down to this. Gamers, rise up. Hi.
Ohayo.
I'm Locust, lifelong gamer, threat to your love life, and today I am Daddy. Daddy's home! Before we start this video, you're going to hit me with a like, you're going to subscribe, and you're going to ring those bells because if you don't, well, you're grounded. I also would like you to leave a comment if you watch the whole video that says, I am Daddy.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Now, as Daddy, it is your duty to be the ruler of your domain. That includes your couch, your controller, your TV, and of course, since this is a video game channel, your video games. To sell the point of this video, we're going to preface the current events commentary with some visualization. Now close your eyes, gamer. Picture this. You just dragged your ass through the door after a day that felt like a decade. Your wife, bless her heart, greets you with a smile, a kiss, and a long hug. That's the only thing making this day worth it. But then, there's your kid. Let's call your kid Vidya. The one that you love more than your next breath. Yet, they're at that stage where they're more question mark than teenager. They're in the middle of this identity crisis, which you understand or at least try to. But lately, ever since they stopped hanging around their Japanese and Korean friends, they've been acting like they've been hitting the bong a little too hard and have discovered the dark arts of teenage rebellion. At first, you entertain this behavior, thinking kids will be kids. But every time you try bringing up potential experimentation, they deflect, defy, deny, gaslight, and shut down communication. What used to be this sweet, loving little creature has morphed into this defiant, resentful beast, all while mooching off your roof and your dime.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator, eating up all the food.
And the friends, whoo boy! There's this genderless blue-haired behemoth named Harriet who looks like she escaped from the whale watching tour, but let's be honest, there's not enough ocean to contain her. It's a miracle she even fit through your door. Then there's Gregory, or Leaf X, as he prefers because names are too oppressive, who's so vegan he makes a stick look robust. You are what you eat, I suppose. And don't even get me started on White Matt, the self-deprecator. Every time you crack a smile, he's there giving you the stink eye like you just committed the heinous act of microaggression. You notice your kids suspiciously started acting strange once they started hanging around this crowd. One day, a video goes out with their friends for some ice cream, and your sixth sense, honed from your misspent youth, kicks into overdrive. You decide it's time to play detective in your own damn house, because you are Daddy.
I'm your daddy.
You start your search with the subtlety of a bull in a china shop, knowing all the old hideouts. You reach for that Pokeball souvenir on the shelf, expecting maybe some candy or some printed out nude pics, but nope. Inside is a fat bag of weed. Now weed you can handle. It's almost quaint in comparison to what you suspect is going on. And damn, you can see how those Pokeballs can capture some legendary Pokemon concealing something so odoriferous such as that bag. It has to be airtight. But weed doesn't explain the loopiness and the erratic behavior. Next, you hit the bathroom, checking under the sink cabinet, and there they are, the missing soldiers from your liquor cabinet, lined up like they're on parade. Top shelf stuff, the kind that's supposed to be enjoyed, not guzzled by a kid trying to find their identity at the bottom of a bottle. But your heart sinks when you get to the stereo system. You've heard all the stories, seen too much in your day to not know what you're looking for. You pop open the speakers and there it is, the nightmare scenario. Needles, heinously white powder, and a stack of $100 bills. This isn't just teenage experimentation, this is deep, dark, and dangerous territory. Your suspicions are confirmed. Your beloved Vidya has been hanging around the wrong crowd. and they've been using their allowance that they haven't been earning as of late to bankroll their amateur and illegal pharmaceutical operation. And clearly, they've been breaking one of the 10 crack commandments. Never get high on your own supply. Tell me, Anon, if you keep on giving them their allowance, wouldn't you kind of feel as though that you may as well find one of their non-collapse veins to inject the needle of that China white yourself? Wake up, Anon! Wake up! It was just a dream, or shall I say an allegory. An allegory for the video game industry. However, believe it or not, though your family was hypothetical, your virgin ass is still daddy, and for your troubled child, Vidya, if your IQ is below freezing temperature and haven't figured it out yet, is the video game industry. So, Obsidian, the folks behind Avowed, which I am going to disavow, have apparently turned into a corporate cult where the Kool-Aid is not just served, it's mandated. Some whistleblower, let's call him Doe for all I care, spilled the beans that this place is now less about making games, more about pushing some very progressive agenda. The art director, Matt Hansen, sounds like he's straight out of a dystopian novel, labeled quote-unquote pure evil, for a crusade against, in his words, crusty old white dudes in gaming, when he himself, in his words, is a crusty-ass white dude. Self-loathing much? Not a very heroic attribute. Perhaps crusty old white dudes in this scenario are daddy. Thank you. I don't know, perhaps you're a crusty old black dude. The point still stands. You are daddy.
I am daddy.
For those that don't know, Avowed, the upcoming game from Obsidian, known for their impressive catalog in the Western games front such as Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Sith Lords, Fallout, New Vegas, South Park, The Stick of Truth, and Outer Worlds, has recently come under fire by the reactionary right wing of gaming for the addition of pronouns in their game. Which, listen guys, I think for the most part, Western games are whack, so hearing this is just another drop in the meh bucket for me. I wasn't planning on playing Avowed, and now I'm definitely not even going to sniff in its direction. A point I will emphasize later in this video. But here's the thing. I get why there's a ruckus. This is like an ideological battering ram crashing into the door of what used to be the cozy, unassuming world of gaming. It's like Daddy, in a moment of weakness, decided to give Vidya's new comrades a chance only to return to a vandalized home and find a breadline starting right at the front of his door. The sanctity of our escapism has been hijacked, and now instead of just playing, we're all forced to play along with someone's unhinged political musing. The studio's turned into an echo chamber where if you don't worship at the altar of pronouns and identity politics, your pronouns are basically Beazle/Bub to them. Diversity, equity, and the holy inclusion, baby. So this Doe character says that this place is so overrun with this bull crap that the actual creativity is being choked to death under the weight of ideological purity. The only white guy left could be counted on one hand that is probably wrapped around Matt's wiener. And the vibe is more about preaching than playing. And Hansen, this guy is more than unhinged. He's out there on Blue Sky making a mockery of gamers, calling them sickos for not bowing down to his vision. He doesn't take criticism well, assuming anyone who disagrees is just not committed enough to the cause. Old dude is out here sending out emails making veiled threats if you end up misgendering someone in the workplace. Upon finding out about this, Elon Musk said something that I think all sensible people can agree on. It is not acceptable for any company in the gaming industry to be racist and sexist against quote-unquote white guys, in which Matt Hansen, with the ultimate "you don't understand me, Dad" energy, "and you never will," quote retweeted with "Oh Elon, you sweet summer child, this will only embolden me, you sad sack of shit." Clearly, Matt has some daddy issues and doesn't want to play it legally like Daddy Elon. Grums writes, Obsidian and Avowed are in deep trouble. Elon is exposting about at Obsidian's art director's potentially illegal hiring practices. Tagged Microsoft's CEO. Matt Hansen, Avowed's art director, has become an extreme liability for the studio with his overt and open anti-white hatred. The pronoun game Avowed is cooked. At Avowed the game. Microsoft should not tolerate these DEI activists ruining their games and products. Alright, now let's talk about the ire of Matt Hansen's eye. Of course, we are talking about Elon Musk, a man with such strong daddy's home energy that he influenced a whole damn presidential election through his acquisition of Twitter. So, he takes over this digital mansion, right? But the kids living there, all those rebellious little turds in their true angsty teenager fashion, got so pissed that they ran away from home to Blue Sky, chasing after some fantasy of bluer skies and greener grass. But what did they find? A goddamn minefield of child pornography and an echo chamber so dense with ideological purity, it's like they're all breathing in smog. They ended up mass-reporting each other, creating their own little hell where the skies must have been foggier than a London morning, otherwise known in Pinocchio terms as Pleasure Island. Now, Elon, he's not one to sit on his laurels. He's got his sights on Hasbro, the custodians of Dungeons & Dragons, after announcing he's going to launch an AI gaming studio to make games great again. Basically saying, are you ready for it? Say it with me, Racer X. Daddy's home! Now, I'm not here to slob on Elon's knob. But here's something to consider. Perhaps Elon has such a strong influence upon not just America, but the world, because he, like Daddy, has a vision of what the future could be for his household and is doing what he can to steer the ship in that particular direction. The American dream, as we know, is dead. I'm not exactly sure when it died, but perhaps it was one of those boiling frog moments. But in the wake, we left it up to people who strictly adhere to the right hemisphere of the brain or their puppet masters, who definitely do not have our best interests at heart, to come up with a new vision of the West on the fly or out of nowhere. One that tries to break free and goes off the rails of eons of evolution. One where you have to walk on eggshells in your work environment because you're scared to misgender someone because your livelihood might be at stake. All right, look, I'm not here to preach or sermonize, but here's the real talk, fellas. The age of naivety has long passed. You've got to know what you stand for in your own damn house, your domain, and start throwing down some tough love. Because before you know it, your kid is going to walk in with friends whose eyes are so bloodshot red, are so cake-faced that they look like they're auditioning for a circus, and whose noses work like they're attached to a goddamn fire hose. So you may ask, what is daddy energy?
Fire hoses.
Yeah, like they got nasal drip. They've got nasal drip. That's what I'm trying to talk about, guys. Racer X didn't catch it, so maybe you won't. Okay, so you may ask, what is daddy energy? It's fierce and protective energy. It cares not for being ostracized by society for its beliefs, especially when it believes that it is putting the life of its wife and children in danger. Its first priority is protecting the sanctity of its domain. It cares not if it won't receive the benefits of access journalism, like early review codes, chances to attend game awards, and meeting your favorite game directors. Friendships slip away due to the ideological differences, and daddy energy will think, well, that's too bad, and then just move on with their life. Do you remember when the president of CD Projekt Red tried to pull a fast one, having the president of the company gaslighting gamers like he was some kind of master manipulator, telling us that they don't really hire off diversity when in reality they had a whole paper trail, including a video highlighting the company's emphasis of ESG. Let's read Michael Naukakowski's tweet together, again, just to gain some perspective.
Seems like we live in times where we can record complete nonsense and make a story out of it. CDPR talent leaving? We have the lowest rotation of people in recent years. DEI-driven recruitment, we hire based on merit and talent alone, just as we make games driven by artistic vision alone. Why did we choose UE? Because it enables us to work on our games more efficiently, and we remain cutting-edge tech-wise. The Witcher 3 director left? Well, yeah, that was more than 2 years ago. Now, can we stop looking for conspiracy theories and go back to making cool stuff?
And then Endymion, that son of a bitch, came in swinging with those receipts, knowing full well he would never get a whiff of the early review code for The Witcher 4. But did that stop him? Hell no. In true daddy fashion, he gave that mega corporation a real spanking. It was like watching Vidya's new friends get schooled by the old man of the house. Endymion was daddy here, walking in, seeing the mess, and laying down the law. Afterwards, the only thing that was read was CD Projekt's ass. It was a beautiful, brutal reminder that in this house, in this gaming community, we don't take kindly to mentally ill tankies trashing our nest. We demand honesty, integrity, and when you screw with us, well, daddy's gonna make sure that you feel it. In my book, discipline is like the Holy Grail. You can never have enough of it. It is the ideal that you chase, especially when you're molding those little humans into something respectable, particularly when they hit those rebellious teenage years. You gotta lay down the law again and again until it sticks. Now, since it's recent news, we can talk about Max Osipovsky, the senior experienced designer over at CD Projekt Red. His snark, well, kind of backfired spectacularly, replying to a lady dissatisfied with the direction CDPR has been taking in IGN's announcement of the game going into full-scale production. She writes, "I'm not excited over it. The Witcher series is one of my favorite game series. CD Projekt Red is too deep into the DEI ESG bullcrap." He posted 2 emojis, one which was covering laugh and a clown. She says, "Wow, that's very professional of you. You know that I'm a customer, and more than that, a fan of the Witcher series? And you're a senior experienced designer at CD Projekt Red? Are you sexist too, telling a woman to shut up and calling her a clown?" And she's right. That is unprofessional behavior. He responded to her saying, "Immediate allegations along with misinterpreting. Just wow." Racer X, that is anti-daddy energy right there. That isn't even mommy energy. That's cuck energy. She responded with, "Tell me what you meant by what you said then." And like a teenager, knowing that the conversation isn't going where he wants, he goes silent and doesn't bother replying, in essence, shutting down. Like, I get it. Your art is like your little baby. You're very protective of it. But damn, dog, at least try to sway your potential customer and longtime fan of the series you're working on that she has nothing to worry about. All her fears are for naught. But no, the emo teen is going to lash out at mommy. And now, daddy's gotta step in. Because before daddy steps in, since we're talking about discipline here, some of you have no intention of becoming fathers. Perhaps you're female, in which case this is about channeling your inner animus, or there may be some other reason why the analogy doesn't work for you. But that's cool, because the point here is about being the gatekeeper of your own domain. You can't be doling out discipline if you're not disciplined yourself. And being a helpless consumer, that's the last thing that you want. Think about your diet. If you're fueling yourself off Doritos, Eggo waffles, and guzzling 4 Locos as if it's water, like a real G, watch how quickly your life goes to poop. You'll go from energetic to lethargic faster than you can say pass the chips. From Lotto to Lizzo faster than you can... faster than the scale gives up and just says no. And your self-esteem, it'll tank like Ubisoft's stocks. Now, apply that to the games that you buy. I loved the first entry of The Last of Us and Spider-Man. But when I heard about the social messaging in their sequels, I was like, well, I guess they just don't want me as a customer. And you know what? Till this day, no matter how much people rave and rant about them, I genuinely don't care. Because what I consume, whether it's food or entertainment, shapes my reality. And in my reality, I am daddy. On a metaphysical level, I choose not to engage with the content that's slowly turning me into a cuck, kind of like that boiling frog analogy. I only play games that teach me something new about life, to celebrate the virtues of heroism. And I'll be damned if a bunch of blue-haired soy bullies try teaching me about heroism, something that they know absolutely nothing about. The same way, I'm not going to go to learn about flying a stealth bomber and utilizing its intricate weaponry from a burrito chef from a third world country that doesn't even have access to that technology. These goobers are not the cool kids anymore, and it's time they fully comprehend via the proverbial spanking I'm about to give them. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. With this storytelling, it's no wonder why Spider-Man 2's is so sterile from what I hear. Here's the straight dope. In your life, in your household, you should look at yourself as the hero, not some passive participant in someone else's narrative. Money is very powerful energy. Don't give it to people that resent you because you're bored and willing to settle for slop. So the discipline starts with you. Be the daddy. Be the hero of your own domain, whether it's literally a father or choosing your own life's narrative. And choose wisely, or risk letting the wrong pee-pee caca dictate your reality. Now, here's an example of some crazy infringement. Can you imagine if that blue-haired whale that I talked about earlier, Harriet, waltzed into your crib and announced, without so much as a please, that your mansion is now her personal aquarium? Well, guess what? Riot Games, the folks who brought us League of Legends, have decided they're going to do just that, but with your digital life. They've got this new code of conduct where they'll go after creators for saying mean things that they don't like. Get this, even if it's not in the goddamn game. Want to express yourself? Well, too f***ing bad. The TLDR, according to Digital Trends, is if you say or do things that break our terms of service while broadcasting or creating content about our games, we can restrict access to your Riot accounts and suspend your partner privileges if you're part of the partner program. They're basically telling you what you can and cannot do in your own house. They think they're in charge. They think that they got you by the balls, that you're gonna sip for anything that they put out. Y'all know about this meme about League of Legends ruining lives? It's because of this mental slavery that this has always been leading up to. They want to control what you say and control what you do. I may not play League of Legends because I guess I have taste, so this doesn't affect me too much, but let me remind you, you are daddy. Come on, do it with me. You are daddy. You are daddy.
Look at me, I'm Angry Dad.
Clamp that wallet shut faster than a woman's legs after she hears that you are a male feminist. They saw what happened when we banded up to decimate Dragon Age the Veilguard. Now they're running scared. Gamers, rise up! EA couldn't stop us. Riot Games couldn't stop us. And the ADL sure as hell couldn't stop us. You know the rallying cry, sweethearts. Say it with me, Racer X. Gamers, rise up! If you're not already, you best get off your ass and follow me on Twitch and X because I want to hang out with my dogs. The links are in the bio. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. Take it from the big bad Oracle of Santa Monica himself. You are daddy. Daddy decides what kind of behavior he tolerates in his own damn house. And if you disrespect daddy, then daddy don't like. He decides where the money is spent and the ideas and behaviors that are allowed to flourish in his household. The games industry is an angsty teenager that thinks it knows better. In this scenario, daddy decides what his hard work supports, and it's daddy's prerogative to choose whether or not he's going to support his child's self-sabotage or put his foot down and put it to an end. You can entertain the rebellious phase, but the last thing you want to do is have the police show up at your door with unfortunate news about the games industry that you could have prevented if you just put your foot down. So, be proactive and put that foot down. Sit on that porch of yours with a bottle of whiskey and a shotgun, smoking your favorite tobacco from your pipe, and when video returns with a Leaf X, White Matt, and Harriet, don't back down and let them know that they're not welcome into your sanctuary anymore and send your disobedient kid into the corner with a dunce hat. This is your time to establish your boundaries. Don't be a passive player in this. Engage with the developers. Share your feedback on social media, and let's see if we can steer this ship back to creating games that everyone can enjoy for their gameplay and stories first. Remember, your voice matters, especially when you shout, say it with me, Racer X, I am Daddy, in the comments. I'm Locust. I hope I was able to inspire at least a flicker of self-authority into your personal life. I'll catch you in the next video, and until then, Daddy says bye-bye. I am Daddy. 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 Jackpot? Oh my gosh, dude.
Get off from there, Doge.
Daddy says get off.
Get off.
Get off.
Get off.
Down.
Down.